That's a pickup truck from the Municipio de Chame who happened to be out here when we showed up to look at this land. Okay, this, what we're looking at here, this is a servidumbre. The servidumbre is basically a 3-meter wide access road between the lots. So what I'm standing on right here, this road, is not owned by anybody. There's one lot here to the right side, which is owned by somebody else. And this lot here to this side is owned by an American who has it in the name of a corporation. The problem is, according to the plan, at the end of this servidumbre is where they've created this new lot that blocks off the access to the beach. Okay, now this, you can see that this lot has the fence line, and this property has been titled for, I don't know, maybe 12, probably 20 years or more. Now what has happened here, and you can see this as I pan around, Punta Chame has grown basically in that direction. Now this fence line right here, that corner post, used to be 22 meters from the high tide line. But the high tide line, the ocean has deposited more sand and it's moved out in that direction, and that's where the problem has been created by. Okay, what I've done is I've marched off 22 meters from that property line in the back. So this, where I'm standing right now, years ago, used to be pretty much the high tide line. So when they titled this land 20 years ago, this is where the ocean high tide line was. But then over the next many years, this land has been deposited from the sand, just the natural ocean access. And you can see this fence that's been put in is what was created, basically blocking off this guy's beachfront property. Okay, you can see this fence here, this fence with barbed wire that's been erected here. That goes all the way on down there, and you can see that they followed here. They followed the servidumbre. However, on the plan, the fence line does not follow what the plan says. According to the plan, which has been titled, it goes all the way on down there and even includes some of this land here that's been fenced off by other owners. Okay, now you can see on this is supposed to be a 9,000 plus meter parcel of land. You can see where they've divided it in the middle, and the reason they did that is because they had a buyer that wanted to buy a part of it, and according to the plan, the parcel of land that they already have title on goes all the way across and blocks this servidumbre and goes all the way down, farther on down here. So what you're looking at right here, this access road that's been here for 40 years has been blocked by the title that's been granted by the INADI. All right, this is Punta Chame. That is the Pacific Ocean, and you can see that this is how the natural ocean wave current has deposited more sand. Now you can see by this line of trash that runs along the beach here, we're going to call this the high water line, and then I'm going to count off 22 meters walking towards this newly created property line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So there's 21, 22. Okay, so if you measure it, they're going to be about right. So what they did is they went to the new high water line, measured off 22 meters, 12 to get away from the beach line, 10 meters for an access, and then created these new lots and blocking off the property which is on the other side of this, which is already owned and already been titled for years, and those guys thought they had beachfront property. Okay, here's one of the survey markers. The American property owner had his property surveyed, and you can see where he had a property marker put in, and these guys that came in, and this fence was just put up 2 weeks ago, okay? We found out that this property was actually granted title back in October of 2011. However, they didn't fence it, and there was no way to know that this had happened. And then they had a buyer, and the buyer said, okay, I want to see a fence. So when they came in and fenced it up and divided it off, that's when these guys realized that something was going on out here. But if that hadn't happened, they never would have known. Okay, what we're doing is now that's where that property line, where they've marked this, we're gonna walk this fence line all the way down, and to get an idea of just exactly how long they did this or how far down this goes. I'm standing at the end of what looks like the first parcel that they've got a fence, but they didn't do the fence the whole way. They only brought it down on the beach side. They left it open on this side, and then it looks like there's another parcel that's fenced off in exactly the same way farther down. Don't know if it's the same company. It's probably going to be the same company. It's probably going to be the same exact thing that they did. It seems like they went along and said, okay, well, these guys are paying attention, so we can't steal this land on this side. But these guys are not. There's nobody there. There's no signs. There's no buildings. So we can go ahead and take that. So it seems like there's this mix of, it seems like they're doing what they think they can get away with. In fact, they already own title on all of this. They own it, whether or not there's a fence. So, and this is the kind of stuff that's going on out here. And I don't think it's going to stand. As soon as if there's some kind of an investigation and people start looking at what was done and the way it was done, I think this whole thing's going to blow up. Okay, there's another survey marker. Let me see, I can't really see my screen very well, but I'm sure it's on there. Okay, there it is. And you can see that I'm using that house as a reference point, that white house and that white fence. And then it's all this stuff on the backside. So I believe they've got all of this surveyed. I believe they've got it all titled, and I just don't think they fenced it all because I think they're fencing what they think they can get away with, and they're trying to sell it. Okay, here's an existing marker, and this is old because it's rusty. And you can see where it's got a line going along the beach right in through there, and then the line going out that way, which divides the lots. And this is one of the older markers where this thing has been surveyed before, and this is the markers that these guys ripped up. And then if you look farther up, that's exactly where their marker is that they put in, which is right there. And then they're using that to replace this existing marker. So they're ripping these existing markers out of the ground in order to get title on this property. And it's already been titled, people. This isn't something that these guys are thinking about doing. It's a done deal. They own this land. It's been given to them for free by the government of Panama and Anati. It's not something that they're doing. It's done. It was done in October of last year. This is the next parcel of land, and this is the dividing line between E Street and F Street in Chame. This is the servidumbre to my left. The beach is to my right. And again, this is the exact same stuff where they've put this fence in, and you can see it goes all the way out over there, and it's behind existing property, and off it goes. Okay, I'm underneath a building like a bohio here that somebody has built on their property right in front of the beach. You can see that the property is pretty much unimproved. It goes out as far as the street access down there, and then right next to this is the access between F Street and Chame, and they have the lots to the side, and you can see, for example, this is a typical 25-meter wide lot in Chame. So here's a lot here, then right next to it is the servidumbre, and then there's a lot next door. Now these guys have come in behind and basically, I don't know any other way to say it, stolen this land on this side, which is the newly created land from the deposit of the sand. And it seems like they're continuing all the way on down. Okay, so I'm kind of going to stop shooting video on this because for the most part it all pretty much looks the same. It's the same story. When you're looking at this lot, I'm looking at this lot that somebody owns here, and they probably bought it 10, 15 years ago for about $30,000. And today, that lot of land is maybe worth between $200,000 to $300,000. Each one of these lots have grown by an additional 1,600 meters of land. Now, they originally measured 25 meters wide and 40 meters deep, with the street on one side and a servidumbre or a neighbor on the other side, and then up to the water line, which was right about here. This is where the property ended originally. But then that new land was added on, and that added about 1,600 square meters of property to each lot. Now, what if I own this? How do I get title on that? Where do I go? I have to go to the government. I'm sure, I'll guarantee that there are these property owners that have had these things surveyed, they filled out their request, they filed the documents with the government, and the government didn't do squat. Either it was pro-nat or a nati or whatever, because everybody in Panama knows it's next to impossible to get anybody to give you title on this kind of property. It just doesn't happen. You can apply, but it doesn't go through. So then guess what? These people from a nati come along with their buddies. They gave this land away for free to this company, created these new titles, created the rights of possession out of thin air, gave the land away for free, and now they're selling that parcel way down there, one parcel for $1.5 million. There's going to be another one here and another one here, and it's going to go all the way down to 8th Street and who knows how far this thing goes. This is a massive, massive scandal, land scandal, ripping off what should be people's opportunity to, because if I own this already, and if I've been applying for title on this, I should get first shot at it. This should not have happened where these guys just come along, create this stuff and go, here, give it away, because where's the money going? All of this needs to be investigated in a big way. But anyway, I'm not going to shoot a whole lot more video on this because it's all the same thing. It's the grass and the fence line and the ocean and the lot, and I can show you more fences, I can show you more points on the ground, but you pretty much got an understanding of what's going on, and it's just basically one big unfortunate mess. So hopefully it'll get untangled here before too long. Okay, I'm just going to shoot this marker right here. This is the marker between two lots on E Street. This is the American person who owns this, and he owns. Let's see if I can describe this. Okay, here's that. I'm standing on that marker that I was just showing you on the ground, and this is the American landowner who bought these two lots, and this is the street which runs down in through here, and this is the access which divides the lots. He owns, and the lots are 25 meters wide and 40 deep. So from here going that way 25 meters, and then also from here going that way, he owns two lots which are side by side, and then they go in to the ocean, and this is exactly where the land is, which is behind it, has been marked off by the land that has been granted for free by the Inati to these people who basically appeared out of nowhere and created this behind this titled property. So that's what's going on. That's the story. Don't know who those guys are, but there's other people running around in trucks looking at land, so we're going to go down and talk to them and see who they are and what they're doing. I'm going to leave the camera running just in case. I don't know who these people are, so why not?
El señor este también vino, ¿cómo se llama él? Él tumbó la cerca de la...
Él se quitó la cerca.
¿Viste? Este aquí no sé, pero ya el señor ese lo tenían. ¿Te acuerdas que yo te había dicho que que nosotros fuimos a testiguar donde Julián Guizola, ¿te acuerdas?
¿Cómo no?
Bueno, pues ellos también querían meterle un terreno.
No se lo pusieron.
No se lo pusieron.
Hay que hacerla a fuerza aquí, vamos a hacerla.
Hicieron la misma aquí que hicieron allá. El terreno en verdad extiende por todo acá, pero solamente hicieron la cerca aquí para que se parece que la servidumbre todavía está. Pero en verdad, en el plano, bloquearon todos los servidumbres. Y parece que hicieron en áreas donde no se parece que no hay nadie. ¿Okay? Pusieron la cerca aquí porque en eso no se parece nadie. Aquí lo tuyo tiene un edificio, no hicieron nada. Pero usted no es el dueño de eso, ellos son. El título ya existe, ya está.
O sea, le hicieron como un solo título, toda la parte está completa.
En como 5 o 6 globos grandes, cada uno como 10.000 metros.
Sin divisiones entre ellos, no hay espacio entre ellos.
No, ningún espacio entre ellos.
Hombre, ayúdanos con esta vaina.